that, let's get on with the program. So, if I'd like to, J.D. Nelson from Alameda County Sheriff's is going to be here to give our first, recognize our first awardee. And I would like to ask Trustee Carrie Howard to start making his way to the stage for next. So, J.D. Nelson.
Hi, I'm J.D. Nelson. I'm the sergeant with the Alameda County Sheriff's Office. I've been with the Sheriff's Office a little over 30 years. And it's always tough to bat lead off in any kind of event like this, so bear with me a little bit. Although I am very impressed with all the things that are going on in the 10th District. I didn't know all the work that Senator Wieckowski is doing, so it's much appreciated. Even though I live just outside your district in East Oakland, my wife is a bilingual school teacher here in Hayward, so balances us out. I'm evil sheriff, she's nice school teacher, and somewhere in the middle we're right there. So it's my pleasure. I have a couple of written things down here, but I'm probably going to go off the page a little bit for Mr. Robert Souza. Tonight it's my honor to introduce our next local hero and the first local hero tonight in the 10th Senate District, Robert Souza. Robert has been a selfless and active member of our community. He is a distinguished journalist and a civic leader who has engaged in local issues in the Castro Valley region. For well over a decade, Robert has been praised for his journalistic integrity and his fair and professional reporting of the Castro Valley Municipal Advisory Council meetings, the Alameda County Planning Commission meetings, Rowell Ranch Rodeos, Rowell Ranch Rodeo parades, fall festivals, Castro Valley car shows, chili cook-offs, and many other things, including veteran organization celebrations and holiday observances. I'll go off the page a little bit. Robert was working for the Castro Valley Forum and then decided to go on his own to do Castro Valley News. You know, that takes a little bit to do that. You know, you got to want to do that. And I can tell from my boss, the sheriff, he does a thing also called Castro Valley Television. And we allow him to go in our patrol cars, unscripted, on anything, and put whatever he has online. Now, that takes a lot of courage, one, by Robert to go out and ride with our people every night, and two, for the sheriff to say, hey, whatever you get, you get. I'm confident in my people, and I'm confident in you that you'll be fair to us. And that's what Robert is. He's fair. Uh-oh, now I lost my thing. Darn it. Over the years, Robert has served as a fine example of public spirit, willing to assume the responsibilities of leadership with his lengthy resume and community service, advocating on behalf of local nonprofits, farmers, artists, musicians, and small businesses. So, for highlighting Castro Valley as a fantastic place to live, bringing Castro Valley residents together, and his genuine adoration for community, please join me in recognizing Robert Souza as a local hero in the 10th Senate District.
Yeah, sorry.
So you just
I didn't put it line up. There you go. You're the first. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
We do have, as Mayor Halliday said, we have some late arriving electeds, but it is election time. Lily Nade, Mayor of Fremont, is here. Welcome, Mayor. Mike Ricci from the Newark City Council is here. Mike. Rita Duncan with the Oro Loma Sanitation District is here. Sarah G. Chima with the New Haven School District, Union City, Sarah G. And Richard Meyer, who will get a shout out for Alameda County Supervisor is here. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Castro Valley School Board Trustee Carrie Howard, who will recognize our next awardee, and Ms. Natarajan, you're on deck.
first of all, Senator Wieckowski, thank you very much for holding this event each year and honoring so many of our community members and also reporting to the district on your activities. So good evening. My name is Carrie Howard, as was said, and I'm very happy to serve the community of Castro Valley on the Board of Education of Castro Valley Unified School District. I've lived in the district of almost 25 years, but tonight I have the honor and pleasure of being able to recognize one of my neighbors in Castro Valley as a 2018 Local Hero Awardee. Elaine Peng has served the 10th Senate District with great compassion and enthusiasm. A selfless and active community leader, Elaine worked as a Chinese teacher for more than 10 years before becoming a dedicated health advocate and educator. She has worked tirelessly to reduce prejudice and negative stigmas surrounding mental health. Specifically, Elaine has used her personal experiences to provide peer support within the underserved Chinese community. Elaine played a large part in establishing the National Alliance on mental illness Chinese Community Service Committee in the San Francisco Bay Area. Additionally, Elaine developed the first NAMI Chinese website in the United States. Elaine continues to spread her message and sincere commitment to serving underserved communities as president of the Mental Health Association for Chinese Communities. Elaine's commitment to public service does not go unnoticed. She has also been awarded the 2016 NAMI National Multicultural Outreach Award and the 2017 NAMI California Multicultural Outreach Award. Elaine's resume is seamless, but what truly shines through is her steadfast commitment to bettering the lives of those around her. By taking concrete steps to destigmatize mental health care, she has undoubtedly been a great public servant to Senate District 10. Please join me in honoring Elaine Peng as a local hero in the 10th Senate District.
Right in front of, not in front of me. There we go. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Clap.
So our next presenter will be my former colleague on the Fremont City Council, Anu Natarajan. And I'd like to let Anna Wang, you're up next.
To our fearless ADU guru, thank you for the work that you do, Senator Wieckowski, and thank you for the honor of introducing our next local hero. Good evening. As Bob mentioned, I'm Anu Natarajan and had the honor of serving side by side with Bob Wieckowski on the Fremont City Council for 6 years, and usually ended up on the wrong side of 3-2 votes. But we fought the battles. It is my honor today to recognize a young leader in our community, Samir Jha. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. These are the words every student has heard on the playground, and it is what we as a society has been taught to overcome instances of serious bullying. However, when 85% of the LGBTQ students are victims of bullying in school, and LGBTQ youth are 3 times more likely to contemplate suicide and 5 times more likely to have attempted suicide compared to their non-LGBTQ peers, we come to realize that words actually can hurt. Those that are different from the mainstream may not always have an advocate. Samir Jha is a leader who recognizes this and created a nonprofit that has worked to provide educators, student leaders, and parents around the country with tools they need to make more acceptance to LGBTQ students a reality. As the founder of the Empathy Alliance, Samir has grown his organization from a small entity stocking the library with queer-friendly books to an organization instituting gender spectrum training to an entire school district, to a large national nonprofit focused on safety and inclusion of LGBTQ youth across the country. Under his leadership, Samir has helped educate the educators by leading keynotes and workshops and writing op-eds or speaking on the radio about LGBTQ topics. The Empathy Alliance has collaborated with Gender Spectrum, the American Civil Liberties Union, Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. You would think that Samir was 55 years old. He's done already. And other organizations, and has also been featured in the New Yorker magazine, the Mercury News, NPR, and the New York Times. Samir serves on the mayor of Oakland's LGBTQ task force and has been named one of the top 10 trans youth activists in America. He recently made the list of 30 under 30 list for international activists, including change makers like Malala. As Samir says, as a queer person of color, I want to use my privilege as an American citizen with a supportive family to raise awareness and fight for those people that can't fight. I'd like to take a minute to thank Samir's parents for providing the environment and the support that he needed to become this fabulous person. Samir is driven by the simple idea that students should feel safe and comfortable being who they are in school. For Samir, inclusivity isn't just a word, it's a virtue. For his commitment to diversity, his unwavering optimism, and his work in leadership, we honor Samir tonight. Please help me in welcoming a true community hero, Samir Jha.
All right, I think we got this right. Ready? All right, here we go. Look this way. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. One more. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you.
Moving around a little bit with the photos. Now I'd like to introduce Anna Wang with the Friends of Special Needs, who will recognize our next awardee. And Mayor Pro Tem Lisa Marquez, you're our next.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank Senator Wieckowski for always supporting the special needs community and recognizing one of my close friends, Sandi Soliday, today. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Wang, and I'm with Friends of Children with Special Needs in Fremont. And Friends of Children with Special Needs is an organization that provides resource, support, and services to children and adults with special needs in their communities. We provide opportunities for individuals with special needs to discover and develop their talent and abilities to give back to our community through volunteering work and jobs. It is my great honor to introduce to you a longtime friend of our organization and a local hero of the 10th Senate District, Sandi Soliday. Sandi has given so much to the special needs community. Today, we're just highlighting a few of them. Sandi serves as the coordinator of the Alameda County Developmental Disability Council, a program and policy planning unit housed within the Public Health Department. The mission of the council is to expand opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDD. Some of the highlights of the last 10 years include the development of the Shriver Center, a specialty mental health clinic for adults with IDD. The development of the Alameda County Functional Assessment Service Team, or FAST, and legislative advocacy, including panels that invite legislators to hear of the community's challenges and triumphs. And she is my carpool buddy to Sacramento for those advocacy. Sandi has over 25 years experience working in the disability field. Prior to her tenure with the council, Sandi served as a transition specialist for the Fremont Unified School District, working with special education students on career and employment goals, and my son Lawrence is one of her students. Her experience also includes nonprofit work, primarily in the field of supported employment, and she lives in Fremont. It's my neighbor. So please help me welcome local hero Sandi Soliday.
Okay, right here. Oh, this is our spot. Here we go, ready? Oh, 1, 2, 3, and then one more, 1, 2, 3, and I'll let them take them. Congratulations. Did you want it?
My colleague, Canson Chu, who represents the 25th District, has gotten here. Canson, welcome. Thank you. And we have Angelique Lothing with the Union Sanitary District, representing Fremont. I saw you walk in. I should have caught it. Thank you very much for being here. Now I'd like to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Elise Marquez, who recognize our next awardee.
Good evening, everyone. It's a huge honor to be here. It's a very impressive group. I'm very honored to hear about everyone's accomplishments, and thank you to the Senator and your team for having this event in my hometown. I'm a lifelong resident and very honored to serve as the Mayor Pro Tem of Hayward. I'm going to be introducing the next honoree, which is Reggie Torres. Mr. Reginald Reggie Torres is a lifelong resident of East Bay. He was born in Oakland, and as a young man, he moved to San Lorenzo and graduated from San Lorenzo High School in 1964. He first found his love for Little League Baseball as a boy in the Ashland Little League. He later served as a volunteer in Fremont Niles Centerville Little League beginning in 1981. He would go on to join the staff for District 57 in the Tri-Valley area in 1986. After a decade of devotion to the league, he would return to the Fremont Union City, Newark area in 1995, serving as the district's administrator from 1995 until last year. I did have the honor to meet him before the ceremony, and he shared with me that one of his biggest and prideful moments was the fact that young men that he coached in the early 80s invited him back for a reunion and honored him, and are very pleased and honored to keep in touch with them. So clearly he's made a huge impact in many people's lives. He's helped hundreds of young players from throughout the East Bay. He's hosted 3 state Little League meetings. Additionally, he serves as a member of the tournament committees for San Bernardino Western Region headquarters and the Intermediate World Series in Livermore. He's a proud dad of a son and daughter with 2 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids. Perhaps you'll see some of those kids on the diamond with him soon. So please join me in honoring Reggie Torres as a local hero for the 10th Senate District. Congratulations, Reggie.
Go age group. Sorry, man. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. We'll go backwards. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Make sure those Oakland A's beat the Yankees in that first round. That's what I said. Mayor Nagy, you're up next. And I'd like to introduce you and have you join me on the stage and make the next award presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's certainly a pleasure to be here tonight. And I've got the honor and proud to introduce our next honoree, David Anderson. Since 2006, David Anderson has been the manager of the Elaine Humane Society Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. The Wildlife Rehabilitation Facility, located in Newark, cares for approximately 600 to 1,200 wildlife patients annually. David received his degree in veterinary technology in February of 2000 and went on to become a registered veterinary technician and certified euthanasia technician. He started his professional career in the field of companion, exotic, and domestic animal medicine as a registered veterinary technician working for Dr. Rourke Freeman at All About Pets Animal Care in Union City. At that time, Dr. Freeman also happened to be the consulting veterinarian for the Wildlife Center. David has been working and caring for animals for most of his life, but he generally found his true calling and passion in working with wildlife. Wildlife rehabilitation offers him the unique opportunity to see so many different species up close and personal, and he really appreciates each one of them and the distinguished role they play on this planet. David reminds us that humankind was not meant to have dominion over the lives and beings that we share this planet with. Rather, we are stewards of this planet and must strive to instill compassion and respect to all living things. David is very thankful for the hard work, dedication, and compassion of his volunteers and their support of the community. He and his team work together to give wildlife a second chance. Although he is a passion about all wildlife, he has an affinity for birds of prey and skunks. All right, David. His work often comes home with him. I can't make this stuff up. His work often comes home with him, and it seems to be never-ending. When not caring for wildlife, he enjoys being at home and spending time with his partner and their 2 dogs, 3 cats, and a turtle. Please give a warm welcome to local hero honoree, David Anderson.
Okay, gentlemen, this way, scoot towards the flags. There you go. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Want to take a picture?
So now it's my pleasure to introduce Vice Mayor of San Leandro, Deborah Cox, who will join me on the stage to make our next introduction. And Mayor Gilmore, you're up on deck.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you. It's my distinct pleasure to be included this evening. Thank you so much, Senator. As he mentioned, my name is Deborah Cox, and I proudly serve as Vice Mayor of the City of San Leandro. Tonight, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our next local hero of the 10th Senate District, Dr. Cathy Nicholson Hull. Dr. Hull is the founder and steward of the George Mark Children's House and currently serves as its staff psychologist and president of the board of directors. She's been active in clinical psychology for more than 30 years and has devoted the last 15 years of her professional life to developing and sustaining George Mark Children's House, as well as working with the children and their families. And I have to tell you, if you have not had the pleasure to visit this magical, idyllic place that she's created for these families and children going through the most difficult period possible, I encourage you to do so. It is magical. Dr. Hull is also an adjunct staff member of Children's Hospital Oakland, where she spent 5 years as part of an interdisciplinary team that treated young oncology patients and their families. She has been a staff member at the Ann Martin Children's Center, a local nonprofit organization that offers low-fee counseling services to the culturally diverse Oakland community. In addition, Dr. Hull is a member of several professional organizations, including the American Psychological Association, the Northern California Society of Clinical Hypnosis, and the Association of Transpersonal Psychology. She earned a Bachelor's of Arts in Sociology from the University of California, Santa Barbara, a Master of Arts in Marriage, Family, and Child Counseling from Santa Clara University, and a Doctor of Psychology from the Illinois School of Professional Psychology. Cathy is married to William Gisvold, who is here with her this evening, and has, get it, 7 daughters, 1 son, and 8 grandchildren. For her compassionate care for children, her role as an innovator and leader to raise awareness for children with life-limiting illness, and her passion to improve care for patients and their families, I am honored to introduce Dr. Cathy Nicholson Hull as a local hero for the 10th Senate District. Another Bronco. I will. Thank you.
There you go. Look in this direction. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3, smile. Thank you.
So Santa Clara Mayor Lisa Gilmore is our next presenter for the next awardee, and on deck is going to be Vice Mayor Marsha Riley from Milpitas.
Let me find my spot here. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I want to thank Senator Wieckowski for telling all of us about the state of the district, and also for your excellent representation for the city of Santa Clara. We couldn't be any more proud to have you represent us, and you've been really a wonderful advocate for us, so thank you very much. It's a real pleasure for me to be here this afternoon. My name is Lisa Gilmore, and I'm the mayor of Santa Clara, and I'm pleased to introduce tonight's honoree, Adam Thompson from Santa Clara. Adam has been a lifelong resident of Santa Clara. His love for the city where he grew up drove him to get involved at a young age. As a high school student, he taught swimming lessons at the municipal pools, and now he is president of the Old Quad Residents Association, which is probably the closest thing to being an elected official without being one, because of the diversity of all kinds of opinions of the Old Quad Residents Association. He seems to put it all together and represent them with patience and virtue and everything else needed. So as he witnessed the expansive development of his hometown, Adam became inspired to apply his construction background and people skills to guide us through smart growth. Always the do-it-yourself problem solver, he has become passionate about balancing the rapid growth of Silicon Valley with the desire for local residents to have that nostalgic, homey feel. So becoming president of the Old Quad Residents Association seemed to be the perfect fit for Adam. The Old Quad, known for being the quadrangle shape of the original town of Santa Clara back in 1866, is a community organization of residents, business owners, and others concerned with keeping the Old Quad area a wonderful place to live, work, and do business. Founded in June 1979, members of the association have been working hard to achieve the mission of creating a strong sense of community spirit, building good neighbor relations with Santa Clara University, and we hear Santa Clara all over tonight, so I'm proud of that, and preserving the historical heritage of the neighborhood around the university. So today, under the leadership of Adam Thompson, the association is fulfilling its mission, and its members are educating others with regard to the rich and colorful history of the neighborhood, its former residents, and its outstanding historical buildings. So guided and inspired by Adam, members of the Old Quad Residents Association participate in various working committees that are focused on goals to improve, revitalize, and preserve the neighborhood. Adam is a trained electrician, an entrepreneur, a restorer of classic cars, and I hear he makes an amazing pulled pork. Yum, yum, yum. He is fortunate to have the love and support from his wife, Alyssa, and their adorable one-year-old son, Otto. So please join me in welcoming the 10th Senate District Local Hero honoree, Adam Thompson.
Nice picture, Adam.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. 3, 2, 1, smile. Got it? You get your hands back there.
Now I'd like to introduce Vice Mayor of the City of Milpitas, Marsha Riley, who recognize our next awardee, and we have Lisa Knowles, you're on deck.
Good evening. My name is Marsha Riley, and I'm proud to serve as Vice Mayor of the City of Milpitas, and very proud today to be honoring our local heroes. It's my honor to introduce our local hero of the 10th Senate District, the Spring Valley Volunteer Fire Department. The department is a 501c3 nonprofit and exists to protect the communities served from fires, disasters, and emergency situations through education, prevention, and emergency responses. Spring Valley Fire responds to all calls for service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They have roughly 50 trained and certified members dedicated to serving and protecting all the lives, property, and environment that fall within our dispatch area of approximately 200 square miles. They strive to provide exceptional customer service that is efficient and dependable and delivered with compassion and professionalism. Like most fire departments in the U.S., a majority of our calls are medical in nature, but they have their fair share of traffic accidents, fires, and assorted residents' requests for assistance from folks who believe that a situation has gotten out of their control. The volunteer fire department responds to calls for service with a fleet of emergency vehicles that have already been retired by other local agencies such as CAL FIRE, Milpitas Fire, San Jose Fire, and others. And they are grateful for the support from these agencies and work long hours to keep these vehicles safely on the road and ready to respond to protect us. Spring Valley Fire consistently works to improve service delivery for residents and visitors to the unincorporated areas of eastern Santa Clara County, training with local and regional agencies to ensure that we are able to provide the highest level of service available, and I can guarantee you that they do that on a daily basis. So please join me in welcoming local hero honorees, the Spring Valley Volunteer Fire Department.
You may have to back up.
Okay. Squeeze in, please. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay, right there. 1, 2, 3, smile. 3, 2, 1. Got it.
Great, congratulations.
volunteers, man. That's something else. I'd like to introduce Alameda County Board of Trustee Aisha Knowles, who will recognize our nonprofit of the year. And you'll be followed by Sal Mubarak.
Thank you, Senator Wieckowski. I not only have the pleasure of serving as a trustee on the Alameda County Board of Education, I also serve as the information officer for the Alameda County Fire Department, and it has been quite a busy fire season, so thank you, Spring Valley firefighters, for all that you have done to protect our community. Good evening. It is my honor to recognize an organization from San Lorenzo, the Life Goes On Foundation. Arthur Wieckowski founded the Life Goes On Foundation in 2007 after he was shot in the chest outside of a San Francisco nightclub by an unknown assailant, leaving him paralyzed from the chest down. The shooter stole $20. I'll say that again. The shooter stole $20 from Arthur and was never found, and to this day has still not been brought to justice. After a 23-day battle in a medically induced coma, Arthur woke on Christmas Eve to learn that he would never walk again. That news inspired him to fight paralysis by spreading spinal cord injury awareness and leading a movement against youth violence. Arthur knew the best route was to create his nonprofit, Life Goes On Foundation, and aggressively spread his message of overcoming adversity to help teach people wellness and recovery from hardships and challenges through knowledge, positivity, and athleticism. Since 2008, the Life Goes On Foundation has worked nationally to advance the wellness and independence of individuals living with disabilities and empower those facing challenges of any kind to persevere to find their strengths. Arthur has traveled to hundreds of high schools, middle schools, clubs, camps, juvenile justice centers, places of worship, and even the Hollywood red carpet to share his story and reach out to impacted youth. In recognition of his work, Arthur was named a hometown hero by the Bay Area newspaper group and also received a citation of appreciation from the Oakland Mayoral Council Against Violence. Arthur has been featured sharing Life Goes On Foundation on media outlets such as ABC Los Angeles, KTVU Bay Area, CNN, Hot Talk News Radio 560, The Daily Review, Oakland Tribune, and Chronicle Live. Arthur plays for the BORP All-Stars, the B-O-R-P All-Stars, a Bay Area wheelchair basketball team. He credits wheelchair basketball for bringing him out of his depression from the shooting. Now he shares his love for basketball when he coaches for the San Leandro Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Club basketball team, the Junior Warriors in San Leandro. Arthur does not stand alone. He is supported by his mother, Michelle, and his two brothers, Anthony and Andrew, who have supported his recovery and rise to be the person with the desire to change the world one person at a time. As Arthur says, life goes on is about transformation. It's a philosophy and a lifestyle. For his service and his devotion to the highest ideals of community service, we honor Arthur and his organization tonight. Now it is with great pride that I introduce the 10th Senate District 2018 Nonprofit of the Year, the Life Goes On Foundation.
Ready? Right here. Everyone smile. Even the little one. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Got it.
Area Union School District Trustee Sal Mubarak, who is going to recognize our Community Partner of the Year. And then we have our final Unity Award. Mr. Smith. All right. Salma, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wieckowski. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sal Mubarak, and I serve as a trustee of the Berryessa Union School District Board. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the 2018 Community Partner of the Year, Lead Filipino. Under the leadership of founder and executive director Angelica Cortez, Lead Filipino involves Pinays and Pinoys, short for Filipinos and Filipinas, in public service, civic leadership and engagement opportunities that relate to Filipino-American communities, experiences, and representation in key public policy spaces. To achieve this, they provide community-based cultural programs, workshops, and trainings, and collaborate with grassroots partners to advance awareness, campaigns, and educate local Filipino communities. Filipinos are often dubbed as the forgotten Asians. Due to our political and electoral absence, our needs, stories, and experiences are often eclipsed in public decision-making arenas. To challenge this prism, Lead Filipino works to create spaces to provide visibility and substantive learning opportunities to community members interested in changing this reality. To provide community education is to build community. Lead Filipino seeks to ignite conversations that wouldn't otherwise happen in the context of Filipino leadership in communities. Through initiatives like Awareness in Action and Policy, Politics, and Puto trainings, they encourage participants to share opinions and experiences while maintaining respect of varying viewpoints as well. By engaging both youth and adults alike, they challenge Filipinos to think critically on elevating our community's voice. With beginnings of just last year, Lead Filipino's Fly Pinay's Leadership Summit and related activities has grown solely from its community support and positive reception. The Fly Pinay's Leadership Summit is the organization's largest event of the year, where their team of interns, volunteers, and organizers work across a span of 5 months to organize a single-day empowerment conference centered on Filipina experiences. Focusing on the influences of positive mentorship, the theme of sisterhood, and the education of cultural identity, Fly Pinay's pairs more than 150 Filipina mentors and college students in similar areas of study, interest, and career pursuits. The event features TED-style talks and speaker panels, educational/cultural workshops, and entertainment.
The Fly P-Nice Leadership Summit is intentionally held each March to observe and honor Women's History Month and the role of P-Nice emerging as leaders in our broader communities. With all the amazing work they are doing, Lead Filipino is truly deserving of this award. Please join me in welcoming Lead Filipino as our 2018 Community Partner of the Year.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Look at this camera first. 1, 2, 3. Smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next.
Now look at the Filipinos.
One more.
I know all the students couldn't come, so thank you.
And now for our last award, it's the Unity Award. We're going to have Supervisor Richard Valle and former Mayor of Newark, Mr. Smith, come forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Senator. It's a great pleasure to be here to honor Pat Danielson. I would like to break a little protocol, if you don't mind, and ask the city mayor of Newark to step up and join us. Al, please. And there's a lot of other folks from Newark that I'd like to ask to stand with us. But let's wait until we take our picture, if you don't mind. You know, I've known Pat Danielson only since she was in politics, and this is where the mayor takes over.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Smith, the Mayor Emeritus of the City of Newark. That's Latin for Old Gray Mayor. And it is truly an honor and a privilege for me to be here tonight, Senator. And thank you for your inspiring words for the 10th Senate District and to all of the honorees. Wow, yowza, what tremendous, fabulous stories. But Supervisor Valle and I, and with the accompaniment here by Mayor Nagy, we've got another honoree to present to you this evening, a very special one who's going to receive the Unity Award for the 10th Senate District, Miss Pat Danielson.
So just before she got into politics, she did a lot of work for 36 years with skilled nursing facilities, psychiatric facilities, and she continued to do that while she was a member of the Washington Township Healthcare District Board. She served as board member, president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. She started a TV show, and the mayor's going to talk a little bit more about that, but I'm going to tell you about her love of turtles and her love of her dog, who has passed, and a basset hound. She's a very special individual. She's a very caring individual, and she's a big element in the Newark Days Parade. Up until recently, she had a physical setback, but she's a champion, and she's a real fighter for people in healthcare. She started her own TV show. She's a champion for kids, for seniors, and healthcare in general. And the work that her and Bernie Stewart have done as a member of that board really stands out. She's really a pillar in the city of Newark. It's a great honor to honor her, and I'm going to ask the mayor to my left to now say a few words.
Thank you, Richard. It's really difficult to say just a few words about Pat Danielson. Pat Danielson has meant so much to our community for so many years. When you talk about the fabric of a community, I mean, you're talking about Pat Danielson, and when Pat retires, a little bit of that fabric is going to wear off, and we just hope to be able to, with Pat's stewardship, to be able to, at some point in time, replace it. But Pat has has worked in our community on a volunteer basis for so many years, and she's really made a difference. And you know, I think probably what really sums up Pat Danielson is the thought that service to humanity is the best work of life, and I think Pat would agree to that wholeheartedly. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Nagy. Well, we are honoring indeed a very, very special person, and Pat's body of work, as Supervisor mentioned, has been a lot about healthcare, but we see her at Newark Days every year, at the parade, at the annual celebration. She's chaired the Tri-City Elder Coalition. She's organized the Seniors Night Out. She's a member of the Optimist Club, the Library League, the Newark Strategic School Planning Steering Committee. She's on the School Monitoring Committee, both the Fremont and Newark Chambers of Commerce. She's very, very active. And she's also helped on the Leadership Breakfast Committee and Nominating Committee for the Mission Peak District for the local Boy Scouts. Not a shy person, Pat also hosted the cable access show, Pat's Neighborhood, to feature local happenings and nonprofits in the area. And I would be truly remiss if I did not tell you she is the best Mrs. Santa Claus you've ever seen in your life. She is something else. She's also received recognitions for her work from the 20th Assembly District, the Viola Blythe Volunteer of the Year Award in Newark, Small Business Advocate of the Year by the California Chamber of Commerce, and the 2001 Best Health Business by the Newark Chamber. And when I was reflecting on Pat receiving this award, Senator, there was two words I could not get out of my head, and that was the words phenomenal woman. Phenomenal woman. And those of you who love the poet Maya Angelou, I see some heads nodding, know about her poem, Phenomenal Woman. Now, the only thing is, Maya is a beautiful poem, but Maya wrote that about Maya. So I thought tonight, in honor of this very, very special lady, and truly a phenomenal woman, I did a little bit of rewriting of Phenomenal Woman by Maya Angelou. And if you just bear with me for a couple of minutes, this is the very special version for this Unity Award. Many people wonder where Pat's community starts. Pat truly is a giver, and in the Tri-Cities, her service acts the part. But when we start to answer them, we think of her optimist's heart, and we say, it's her outreach to others, the song on her lips, on the hospital board, her composure never slips. Yes, she is a woman, phenomenal woman. That's she. Pat walks into the boardroom, just as cool as you please, and to a person we all stand, or we fall down on our knees, then we swarm around her like a swarm of honeybees, and we say, she's the perfect Mrs. Claus. She never complains. She serves Newark Days in sunlight and rain. Yes, she is a woman, phenomenal woman. That's she. Well, people often admire what they see in Pat. They see her at Save, they see her at Love, pulling rabbits out of her hat. How does she show them? How can they see? We say it's her devotion to duty, her effervescence, her unending persistence, and her quiet confidence. Yes, she is a woman, phenomenal woman. That's she. She loves her God, so now you know why Pat's head is bowed. She doesn't shout or jump about, and she doesn't talk real loud. But when we see her passing by, Pat makes us feel so proud because she's a special woman. She is that, a phenomenal woman. That's our Pat. And ladies and gentlemen, the Unity Award is presented annually to an individual or an organization that seeks to bring our diverse community together and create a greater understanding of our cultures and challenges. And to me, there is no more fitting honoree and recipient of this award than the phenomenal woman that we're going to recognize tonight. So if you would please join me, Supervisor Valle, Mayor Nagy, and Senator Wieckowski in honoring our phenomenal woman with the Senate District 10 Unity Award, Miss Pat Danielson.
Thank you, join us. Come on. Elected from Newark, come on up. Bernie, you too. Bernie.
All right. Senator Wieckowski's face. Everyone look here first. Ready? Smile with the mayor. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now these folks.
So folks, that is our show. We are done. Thank you very much. Please grab something to eat if there's anything left to eat. Thank you all for coming out. Can I have the awardees come up here or to the side over here? We're going to take a group picture of everybody. So if you bring your little resolutions, thank you again, and thank you. We'll see you next year.
They came to us. They came to us. Folks, can we get a quick photo? Then you can. Let's get one last photo, and then you can take your photos with the senator. All right, sorry. All right, here we go. All right, sorry. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, smile. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay, go for it.